Bare naked.
Bare naked. Bare naked. ABCs.
Welcome to the Bare Naked ABCs, where we discuss every Bare Naked Lady song from 7 to Y. And
Because
this week,
we love you. I'm just doing the Mickey Mouse thing.
Because you think we're in Florida, don't you? Believe me, we are not in the middle of sunshine.
I would
right
like
now.
to be in Florida right now. I would like to get some sunshine.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we, since we don't have sunshine, why don't we talk about sunshine? That'll be just the same, right?
It's a pretty good movie, Tracy, but I feel like it devolves in the last act to like a slasher horror. Same thing like Event Horizon. I call it the third act blues. A lot of
Wait. Little Miss Sunshine turns into a horror movie? Wait, what?
That would be an interesting watch. Maybe someone on the interwebs has created one of those trailers where they make a fake trailer for a movie to change the genre. So Little Miss Sunshine, the horror film, is probably out there. Someone's probably done it. If not, someone do it and come on the show.
Didn't you make the same joke about the movie Sunshine last week?
I referenced Sunshine last week, but I don't believe that I went as deep into my little mini review there.
Oh, I gotcha.
And I'm not above recycling a good joke or a bad joke for that matter.
I don't know. It's too long ago. I don't remember that far back.
Yeah, who can remember these things?
Well, speaking of remembering, I remember what album this is on. But Aaron, before we get to, I'm going to give you a second to think about it. Like, we're talking this week with Eric Butterworth again, as you could hear.
Hello.
And we're going to be talking about the song Sunshine. If you've never heard it before, here is a quick snippet.
Sunshine burns your skin. Sometimes the things we love so much just eat us up from the outside in.
So Aaron, there you heard the song, the whole thing in its entirety. We gave you time. What album's it on?
I don't know. The intro sounds almost a little like The Cure until Ed's voice comes in.
I think he's got this.
It's interesting that you said that, Eric. Okay. Because I was feeling like it would be very unlikely, a really big coincidence for this to also be All in Good Time, but it kind of sounds like All in Good Time. So is it All in Good Time? No,
it is not.
No.
You almost couldn't be further.
Is it like Fake Nudes or like a really recent one?
Yes, it is. Fake Nudes.
Yeah, wow. Missed it by that.
Matter of fact, one of the things that Ed said was that sometimes these things just kind of come to you later on. Like I don't know how it all of a sudden just kind of came out so much later than everything else.
He said that about this song specifically?
About this song. Yeah, that like all of a sudden.
Wait, does that mean that they were working on it?
No, he just like suddenly thought of it, and like he's like, oh, like I've never thought of this before, and I'm not sure why. Ed says that Tyler feels that this is his favorite song. This is Tyler's favorite song. He thinks it's the best song that Ed's ever written.
Wow.
I wonder if that's changed as of this newest album. They've been very, very open about one specific song that Ed wrote for the new one.
Interesting.
Oh, right. Yep. That's very true.
Which would be Live Well, but
I feel that Tyler says that about one song on every single album, to be honest. This one is your best ever now.
No, seriously, guys, this one.
You're just getting better, man.
I know I said that last time.
And it's funny that he says that because he gives Ed the credit on this, but and Ed also said he came up with it and brought it to Tyler in the band, and Tyler had the big reaction. But it's funny because it's credited in here as Ed Robertson, Kevin Hearn. So Kevin, you heard that. Tyler, Ed is kind of throwing you under the bus. He says that he did most of the writing on this one. What are you going to do?
Well, I guess they need to come on the show and tell us. Clear that up now. Otherwise, who knows what people could just assume.
I'm thinking, it's okay, guys. I'm all right with it.
Boy, that's a dead-on Kevin if I ever heard one.
Ladies and gentlemen,
don't use the word "dead" and Kevin in the same sentence.
Oh, jeez.
He's alive and well.
Holy, I took a turn for the macabre.
I know.
I mean, I'm a Stephen King fan, so I mean, it's bound to. Speaking of being bound, no.
It's obligatory if you live in Maine.
Would anyone like to? I'm going to go with the lyrics first. I want to switch things up a little bit. Do people know what this song is about?
I don't.
Using sunscreen. Yep, at least 50 for me. I don't know about you guys.
I feel like it's a relationship song to a degree, if not 100%.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Okay.
Mostly due to the whole find a way to live with your ghost, but I won't be happy till I leave this town, or talking about hindsight as being crystal clear, or
this is about climate change, isn't it?
And then
sunshine burns your skin, ocean's blue will drown.
And sometimes the things we love so much just eat us up. Like that could be like, strife in a relationship or something in the past.
That could be.
So I'll share what Ed said that this is about. I mean, obviously he wrote this song. I would say he wrote the song. Kevin then did some probably big changes to it and embellishments to it enough to get songwriting credit.
All right, before you say that, I want to go on record with I'm thinking it's about the band breakup specifically.
Oh, that would track with him saying, "I wonder why it just now came out of my head," because it's been a while at this point.
Yeah, blinders on.
I just never want to assume that, even if it sounds like it.
Yeah, I know. I'm worried about falling into that as a default assumption without backing it up.
It's just so reoccurring at this point. They're just kind of rephrasing it a little bit, I think.
I mean, I would lean toward the same thing that you said, and I think it makes a lot more sense to me than what Ed said. The thing that Ed said was very generic, and I will say it doesn't quite explain all of the lyrics. Maybe we can make it do so as we go through this.
Expert on the subject.
I mean, Ed has also sometimes said that things meant something, but really it's quite obvious that it's something else. But so he said, sunshine is about recognizing that sometimes we just need a change of scenery. It's easy to get wrapped up in your own head, and things make sense to you if you never say them out loud to the people who matter most.
So in that vein, it's kind of like Light Up My Room.
Kind of. But Light Up My Room is very still kind of positive about the place that you're living, even if it's not a positive place. This is kind of almost, in a way, if what he's saying is accurate, it's almost the opposite of that, in that, like, sometimes we just need to get out of where you are. Again, it doesn't make sense with his statement that he made when he was doing that concert online of, like, I don't know why I've never thought of it in this vein before. Like, you still live in the exact same house, Ed, that you lived in before. You're still with the same person you were with before. Like, what are you saying? It could be also
that they were taking different methods toward this album. For example, they did the acoustic set, the fake nudes, and then they did like kind of the nudes album, the acoustic versions. So that's, changing it up, getting out of their usual space. They also had a lot of this stuff kind of sounding very Canadiana, when you've got songs like Canada Dry and Bringing It Home. So it's almost like taking a change of pace, change of place, without themselves physically moving, but kind of shifting from always America, always USA. That's where their biggest fan base is, to bringing it home, kind of changing up how they're doing things. I feel like the album itself felt completely different from anything I'd heard before from them. So it's kind of, to me, anyways.
I mean, yes, and then there, like, some of the songs are still very poppy. Like,
I think it sounded more ethereal of an album to me, like a lot more eccentric.
I think if you get away from the poppy songs, I think that, like, if you took the poppy songs off this album, I think I would absolutely agree with you. Like, looking through the set list, you take the two major, like, we're going to try to make this poppy type songs.
Because you got Invisible Fence, Looking Up, Sunshine, Dusty Rooms, We Took the Night, Navigate, Flying Dreams, Nobody Better, Bag of Bones. They're all so unique. The poppy songs are Bringing It Home, Canada Dry.
Well, and Looking Up. Like, I think Looking Up and Bringing It Home are the two major, like, poppy songs. And then I think the other ones are very Canadiana and just different. Like, Sunshine, Navigate, We Took the Night, Dusty Rooms. Like, those are very, You and Me versus the World are very, Township of King are very relaxed. Flying Dreams is the same way, like, very kind of relaxed and calm, almost a soundscape.
So if it's not a relationship song and it is about, getting out of your comfort zone, I'd label this whole album as that, really.
Yeah. I could see that.
Only Ed can tell us, though.
Yeah. Well, we know what he said. I'm just trying to make it make sense in context.
Only Ed can expound.
I have a hard time with the lyrics of this and just making it make sense. I like the lyrics. When I sit down with them, I like it. The statement, like, because my hindsight's crystal clear, but the view from then's not like the view from here, because, like, yeah, from my hindsight, like, yes, everything looks different, and, like, as we go on, things change, and when you get to that next line of, like, if you're passed through a looking glass, the important parts appear, but the details start to smear. So the most important things are still there. They're still right up front. And you start to actually figure out what was important and what wasn't, because you're not sitting there paying attention to all the details anymore.
I've always misheard that lyric. I've always thought it was, we view our past, or you view your past. I always thought it was we view our past through a looking glass. And I got the same message out of it.
Yes.
But I always had the wrong words.
No, you're right. I'm looking, the lyrics online are wrong. We viewed our past through a looking glass.
Oh, is that the actual line?
Those are the actual lines, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They get it wrong online. I often read it offline because these lyrics, Ed, band, why, as you get older, are you making your lyrics is smaller? Like,
Fake News is really bad for that. I agree.
Like, you are making it harder and harder for us to read your lyrics.
Are you sure it's the lyrics, Tracy?
Yeah, because if I go back and I look at the earlier albums, I'm like, oh, I can read those ones fine. But
Warby Parker, please sponsor us. We'll do some reading glasses ads for you.
I admit I'm getting older. I have no problem with admitting that. But these words are getting smaller and smaller print every album.
Conspiracy.
And speaking of,
are they, or are your eyes getting bigger?
I mean, that as well, yes.
And if you look at the words for this song specifically, it's a wordy song. There's a lot of lyrics in it. If you pop it up online and you scroll, it's longer than most of the others. And I like them all in individual, but it seems to me often like individual thoughts that maybe don't connect in my mind, but the overarching, not story, but like the overarching thought, and each thing kind of builds together and works together in a musical sense. But I often think of them individually, each verse. as their own little thing.
Yeah, I've said before that I kind of think that Ed's lyrics often have this haiku quality where they're just kind of conjuring up a feeling or the essence of something rather than being a linear story.
I like that.
And I think that
I like
fits
that description.
this very well. Like that, I think that's the trouble I've been having with this song is like, yeah, I'm used to Ed's story songs where there's a follow through, like with Summertime. Like there's, even though it's very sparse lyrics, there's a follow through throughout the song versus this. I think, yeah, it's the chorus is your central point you keep coming back to, but there's just, it's like radiating beams of sunshine that come off from the sun, but that have nothing to do with the others.
Certainly quite different from like Steven's very linear storytelling songs like Box Set. Like that is just like, here's what happens.
Step 3, yeah.
Disc 1.
Yep.
I do like that fans took that one as being, oh my God, they're breaking up. Off the first album.
Like, well, I guess our work here is done.
I don't think that this song is about Steve, but there's definitely relationship pieces of this. And I mean, if I'm going to go down the Steve path, it connects in with what he was saying of like, hey, why have I never seen it through this lens before of like, we have to, like, these things that we really love are also sometimes not good for us. To me, I wrote down, this is a therapy song because Ed was going through therapy around this time. Like he had finally started going back and getting therapy around the stuff with his dad. And I'm sure the stuff with Steve connected in with stuff with his dad as well. But I see this and I hear a person who's going through therapy and starting to figure things out a little bit. And like, yeah, this thing that really I love sometimes isn't good for me.
I didn't realize he had started therapy at that time.
And honestly, if I was going to say anything, I thought that this song might actually be more about his dad than anything else.
It's interesting
because his dad had passed just before this.
Oh, had he? But it was interesting that you said you wonder if this is a therapy song. Literally just before that, I was thinking, I wonder if it was kind of like these days he's putting into, say, in Detour to Force, there's intentionally cathartic songs for him. And this could be almost an unintentional, subliminal catharsis song that he did. So I wondered, just before you said that, I was wondering if that was one of these cases that just subconsciously he sort of wrote something that is reminiscent or not of a cathartic song.
Yeah. I mean, we have the line, I could find a way to live with your ghost.
Yeah.
And once again, funny play on Ghost Town. Funny. Oh. I get you, Ed. I see what you were doing there.
I didn't pick up on it.
It took me a while before I got, oh, yeah, that's where, it wasn't a rhyme. You were putting those two together. Got it. Uh-huh. But yeah, I like the more I looked at it, the more I liked the lines. But again, it didn't seem to tell a story for me, which was difficult.
Tells lots of little stories.
Is that the trouble with Tracy?
It's no When You Fall or When I Fall.
So is that your trouble with Tracy this week?
I mean, sort of, yeah. I like the lines individually, but it really doesn't tell a story for me. Like verse 3, I ran fast, but I came in last, because although I set the pace, it was rigged from the start that I'd lose this race. Like that makes sense to me, but it does not make sense to me with any of the rest of the story of the song, other than the chorus.
But that whole verse follows that whole line because it starts with I ran fast, came last, race. Seems cups half full, then you run and run. It keeps up the whole running theme for that whole verse. It's almost like it's its own little individual story wrapped up within this. It's like a set of mini stories.
Yeah, and I think if I were to view it that way, as like almost like Aaron was saying, like haikus, like with a chorus to kind of combine them, then it becomes more
Well, and that makes
understandable.
sense, Tracy,
Book of
too.
Poems.
If this is him starting therapy and he's trying to sort things out and getting like ideas kind of sorted in his head, but maybe he doesn't quite have his ducks in a row yet. Maybe that's why it feels kind of fragmented.
The bridge seems to build off from the end of the chorus. When I leave this town, I move the point of view I found. I like the next piece, which is very astronomical, in that the sun seems to go down, but it burns while we all just spin around. So, like, again, going back to this thing of like point of view is everything and is the most important piece. Is that like, yeah, I've always thought of the sun going down, but it's not the sun going down. We're moving, not it.
And that's a very nice tie-in with Ed and his love of, space and science and everything else.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's funny because when I was writing this down, before I even looked at the lyrics, I wrote down, this song sounds very much like Our Blue Dot, but
No,
slower.
this is way better than Our Blue Dot. Sorry. It doesn't feel...
savage.
It feels much more genuine, I guess, is what I mean.
I would agree with that. I think Our Blue Dot sounds very much like, hey, we need to put an ecological song out there. Let's write an eco song.
Yep.
It feels forced, whereas this one does not feel forced. It feels very much like it naturally kind of flowed out of him. Well, I suppose that I should ask Aaron to talk to us about the music then.
Oh yeah, we haven't breaking it. We haven't broken it
Breaking
down
it down.
We've broken Aaron.
Break it. That's all, folks. Let's break it down. All right. Obviously, yeah, we have Ed on vocals. Sunshine was recorded at exactly 74 beats per minute in the key of G major. We start off, of course, in G major, and then we go to D major and then C major. So we have 1, 5, 4. This serves as both our intro changes and the verse changes are quite similar. We have G major to D major to E minor 7 to C major to E minor 7 to D major. So we have 1, 5, 6, 4, 6, 5. I think that's right. So bouncing around all these auxiliary chords and then landing on the 5 so we can turn around to the chorus. And we are indeed back to G major, D major, C major. So it's pretty much the same changes until we get to the bridge, which has us going from D major to A minor to G major to A major. So we're shifting the second degree from a diatonic minor to a borrowed major, almost like the sun perhaps shining and then setting and then shining and then setting. So maybe that was programmatic there. The structure, the intros are simplified A changes, verse 1A, chorus B, verse 2A, chorus B, bridge C, and the bridge is, again, that D major to A minor, G major to A major. Then we have verse 3A and chorus B. The acoustic version we listen to is much the same, just with acoustic guitar work replacing the synth and other elements. Same tempo and everything. It could even be that they just kind of took some of the tracks and kept them and then used them as a skeleton to rebuild it around with other instruments. I don't know about you all, but I actually think I slightly prefer the acoustic version. I think the subtleties in the vocal work, especially with the harmonies, they're much more apparent and you can appreciate them better. The stereo picture is not as clouded up with other auxiliary instruments. And because the vocal work is quite nice, I think that's a good thing. Is that Kevin singing harmonies?
So that I wanted to mention that. So the interesting part is it's Kevin singing the low harmonies. And then on the chorus, it's Jim taking the high harmonies.
We should learn about it.
Jim's in there. Okay. Cool.
which is really odd. You would think
But that's really nice when they perform it live.
Oh, I bet it's beautiful live.
Jim does do
But
higher
Yeah,
vocals quite well as
like
well.
an
Though,
A.
so.
yeah. But Jim has
Yeah.
a naturally lower voice than Kevin, so to see Kevin reaching down to hit those notes, which he does beautifully, and Jim going high on those notes, which he's also reaching to get, instead of just going with their natural comfort level, is just you wouldn't
All
expect
the
it,
vocal
but
work
it's
is quite
beautiful.
nice, and I think that's what makes me like the acoustic version just a little bit better. It seems to fit the country aesthetic a little better. I will say the song does feel a little slow for me. It feels like it's dragging a little bit at times. Do you guys agree with that or disagree?
Mm-hmm. I do agree with that.
Oh, here we go.
I disagree. I like it. I love to me, it's a very beautiful kind of ethereal, calming song. I really like the slowness of it because I don't feel like it. I feel like it's emblematic of a lot of the album, and I do really like the album, so it kind of just fits in and meshes well for me.
It's definitely like not a fast-paced song, but I would say from the recorded version, just the studio album version, I like that speed. But then the acoustic version, I did like the sound better, but it was a little too draggy for me. Like they just sounded a little like tired. But I do like the vocality or the sound better on the acoustic.
I can't say I really know the acoustic one very well, even because I don't have it. So I don't know the acoustic versions of most of Fake Nudes as well. I've heard them all, but I don't know them nearly as well as just the straight up studio album.
Oceans blue will drown. I could find a way to live with your ghost, but I won't be happy to leave this town.
So I like the acoustic version better. I will say that my favorite version, though, is the Selfie Cam Jam version.
That one was good. I listened to that.
Is that where they had the outtakes and everything with the stool or was that something else?
No, that was a different part. That was the live version of them recording the acoustic. Which, Aaron, I think you would find this really cool to watch because on the acoustic version, on the live in the studio, you get to see Kevin playing this short-necked 12-string guitar, electric guitar. So I was looking at it, I'm like, wait, does that have
That's cool.
That's got 12 strings. What the hell?
I love me a good 12 string.
Are we talking about like an acoustic 12 string or there?
No, it was a 12-string
like a ridiculously
electric.
wide fingerboard is what you're talking about?
No, and it wasn't. That's why I was like, is that? Oh my gosh, it's definitely 12 strings because you can see it. Let me see if. Hold on 1 second. I'll pull it up so you can see it.
I don't think he means a ridiculously wide fingerboard. I think he's talking still a fairly standard.
Yeah, that's what
string.
that's what I think he's talking about.
Just with the doubled octaves on those, they're just.
Yeah. Oh, they're nice.
Those.
They bring out all these harmonics, and yeah, my dad had a really nice 12 string that I used to play sometimes.
I have a mediocre 12 string.
I have a 4-string.
It kills my fingers even to this day to play because he has really high gauge strings and like or low gauge, and like they're just like digging your fingers into this metal, and then the little tiny overtone strings are just like garroting your fingers. So like when you're squeezing it, I have these weird like indentations all over my fingers. I still don't have proper calluses, but
mine's got a super nice low action that just really easy to play on it. It's not a high quality one or anything, but
so I found the spot where it is on. That way I don't have to play through it, but you can see that 12 string. Like there's definitely 12 different strings, but it's not like super wide or anything.
Is the neck shortness just forced perspective?
I see.
No,
I see
it
what you
is
mean.
actually a super short net. Like you can see as I advance it.
Weird.
It's a 12 string electric guitar. That's what's new to me.
And that neck is
again very short neck. Yeah,
I would say the neck is
that's
like
really
half the length of a normal neck.
I've never seen anything like that.
It's not quite ukulele short, but it's definitely like It's definitely short.
Please
That's
tell me
interesting.
the
That's fair.
description of the video tells us what it is that he's playing.
Let me see.
Nah, it doesn't look like it.
My screen's freezing up now, so of course it's not going to.
Uh-oh.
I'm still here. I swear, I'm still here.
I'm here. I'm not
And
a
as I
cat.
say, it'll probably blank me out. But no, it does not say what it is.
No, it doesn't.
Unfortunately. But I thought that was really interesting. But I do have to say I prefer the Selfie Cam Jam version, because on that version we get him playing the piano instead. And it's funny because he's playing this electric guitar on the acoustic version, and it's really like this really doled out like 12-string electric guitar, versus on the Selfie Cam Jam version he's playing the piano, which is what I would expect from an acoustic version. And Aaron, I didn't send you the Selfie Cam Jam version because
No.
well, because I
Power
didn't want
miss.
was off him, because he says this is from Fake Nudes, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can't. But
Okay.
I'll play a little bit of it here for you, because
Fix it and post it.
Sunshine burns your skin. Sometimes the things we love so much just eat us up from the outside in. Oceans blue will drown. I could find a way to live with your ghost, but I won't be happy to leave this town.
Yeah, those vocal harmonies are really nice. I like that version a lot. Yeah, that might be my favorite. Actually,
I think it brings out the harmonies a lot more
Yeah.
than it is even on the album, because I think that he has something on the Kevin's playing with some kind of filter on the album, and I think it kind of blends into that middle area and blocks out some of those harmonies a little bit. And the piano playing as high as it doesn't block that out.
Yeah, but you could see Jim leaning in for those high harmonies. That was interesting. I thought that was Kevin. Kevin was doing the low ones. So.
It doesn't matter what they do. They're such masters
And
of
the other thing,
harmony that they all know where they can fit in.
Yeah, for real though. No, like that's definitely the highlight of the song for me is the vocal work, and in particular the harmonies.
When Jim goes high, he sounds like really like angelic.
Mm.
It's really pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, he sounds like he almost sounds James Taylory.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Or
I
no,
would agree
more
with that.
almost
Yeah.
like America, like Horse with No Name. There's a little bit of that. It's nice though. Either way.
The other thing I liked about this video is you got to see Tyler's drum work, which he's doing some really interesting stuff on the drums. At least, I mean, as a person who isn't very adept at musical, instrument playing. So he's playing he has one stick that he's playing across the drums on the rim. And then the other one, he's using a brush on the drum sets itself. And it's just really cool to watch him do that.
Yeah, it's a cool technique.
I like to call this song the Jim's turn to take a break song, though. Because Jim is just like, note, note, note.
Easy bass.
Yeah, he's playing like the roots in like whole notes and stuff.
He's taking a traditional
seems
bass
like it's not as an
role
intense
in a
song,
slow
it's
song. He's just holding he's holding the foundation.
Right.
Absolutely.
It'd be like watching Les Claypool being like do 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 do.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what is happening?
And it's good for him because
yeah,
I'm sure his hands need a break every
when you
now
watch
and
him
then.
flying on that bass on some of their songs, especially when they're playing live, it's just he goes insane.
Yeah.
So it's nice for him to get a little bit of a break.
On Grandma.
Well, and that's the thing, he can fly on
That's only fair.
an electric, an acoustic, a double. Like it doesn't matter. He's got full control of any bass he touches.
Mhm.
Well, he's got serious chops. Yeah, 100%.
That was the one thing that was different with the selfie cam jam. I don't know why he decided to do it, but on both other versions, both the live, the original on the album, as well as the acoustic version, he plays grandma. But on the selfie cam jam, he's going with the electric bass for some reason.
Space constraints.
Maybe.
Or maybe for sake of recording, maybe it's easier to use his electric than it is to whip out the whole double bass.
Maybe, I don't know.
He'll just have to come on the show so we can ask him.
Yeah.
Come on,
Because that's
Jimmy.
the question I'm going to focus on.
One ginger bass player to another. Get on here.
I think the biggest question you'd have to ask him is, how come he doesn't age?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
He's
don't
a
know.
vampire.
Yeah.
Like Keanu Reeves.
Must be all that yoga.
I don't know. I don't have anything more to add. Do other people have any more that they would like to add about this song?
I think we just,
Yeah, I think so.
as far as we didn't go into any specifics details for the most part about most of the lyrics, like sometimes, but honestly, I just like them all, and I like their individual meanings as I encounter them, and even if they don't make a story, I still like how they work together.
Mm-hmm.
And certain lines just jump out at me, like "Ocean's blue will drown," especially the way that Ed's written and sung it. Singed it.
Sing it.
It's just it's one of my favorite lines in the song, but so much of the song I really like how beautiful it comes across and how relaxing, easy listening it comes across.
That's the thing, is this song very much is relaxing, easy listening. Like you can put it on and just kind of have it playing in the background while you're doing things, and it will just calm the atmosphere. Well, it's talking about how I need to get away from here.
It's a good driving song, then.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a driving thinking song, not a driving party song.
A driving karaoke song, yeah.
Well, what should we give it for a rating then?
Probably ghost towns.
I thought we used that already for Jerome.
Or SPFs.
Yeah, SPF. Yeah.
Reef safe
Like that.
SPF.
SPF. Okay. Betsy, I'll start off with you. How many SPFs do you give this song? I think we're all going to get burned because 0 through 5 isn't very many SPFs.
SPFs I like. How many SPF?
It's all right, it's winter.
And she's a ginger. Like she's in trouble.
I know. I burst into flames when I walk outside every time. Are
you sure you're not a vampire?
I'm not entirely sure, no. So I think for me, the song is really beautiful. It is very well thought out. It is, very reflective. For whatever, kind of negative introspection that, the negative or like the, parts of it that is just kind of like pensive. Like it seems like he's trying to make sense of it all and trying to figure out, how he's going to address this. So it's not just like a song to kind of ruminate and be pensive about, but I think for me, it's not something I'm gonna have on my playlist because I'm confused as if it's really optimistic or not. It kind of is, but it leaves me kind of feeling a little sanguine or whatever. So I think I would give it a 3.
All right. Eric.
Given how I do like its contemplative nature. I find it to be a pensive song. I do like to listen to it in those times when maybe I'm not wanting something bouncy or fast or whatever. I just want something slow and easy to listen to that doesn't require maybe a ton of thought on the actual piece because it all comes through to me kind of all at once. I don't skip it when it comes around. I don't typically search it out either, but I will not skip it when it comes out. But I may not 100% tune in either if it comes on while I'm listening to other stuff. But overall, I like it. I think it's beautiful. I like all the lyrics individually put together. It doesn't matter to me that they don't necessarily flow as one single story to me, but I'd lock it in right with Betsy there at 3.8.
All right.
Yeah. Nice.
Twins.
High five.
Aaron, what about you? Wonder Twins have given their order.
This is
Yeah.
this is incredible. I was worried that I was going to be the one drinking the haterade on this one, not because I don't like it. I certainly do. It's just like I'm trying to think if it doesn't quite go in my best of playlist. That's the thing. Like it's very good. If I'm looking though for like a slow contemplative song that's gonna be in my playlist, I'm looking at like Call and Answer. So and that's like one of their best in my opinion. This one is very good. It's just not.
That's an easy 5 for me, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Call and Answer is a beautiful song. So whereas I can't quite rate it that high, I still think it's very good. Certainly above average. And I was probably looking at like 3.5, 3.7. Apparently, it's 3.5, 3.6 until Tracy showed us that selfie cam jam version, and it just got me thinking about the harmonies and how great those are. And I think that really does kick it up just a notch. So I'm actually going to be in lockstep with both Betsy and Eric and say I'm using the 3.8 SPF sunblock.
Hey!
Wow.
Yay!
3.8 squad. Yeah. Let's see if Tracy succumbs.
Tracy
to
can
peer
either be
pressure.
one of us or different.
Wavelengths.
I'm always different.
Yeah, one of us.
The question is,
One
it going to
of
be
us.
higher or lower? I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go Price is Right. No.
I think you can go higher.
$1.
3.81.
So the
$1.
first thing I gotta say is I am sorry to Kevin. I really don't like the synth in this song. I don't like the synth in this song either, but I don't like the synth in the song.
Only the synth deal in absolutes.
I like the music of this song better than Our Blue Dot, but I like the words of Our Blue Dot better. I enjoy Best Damn Friend more, even though it's really simplistic, but it's catchy. I like this song. It's not that I don't like this song, it's just it doesn't mean anything to me. And like if I were going to have music in the background that I just want to play that I think is beautiful, I would very much be having this song. I'd be playing this song on there. But if someone then said, "Well, why do you like it? Like, what do you like about this song?" I'd be like, "It's pretty." Like that.
Sometimes isn't that enough?
But it's not going to give me.
Do you need to justify
it's not
it?
going to give me like. It doesn't give me goosebumps. It's not like one of my favorite songs. So the score seems low, but it's only because and comparing it to the other songs around it, I'm like, yeah, that's about where it belongs for me in terms of how much I like it. Just because of what it means to me. But it is a beautiful song, and I hope that people don't take that the wrong way. But I'm going to give this a 2.77.
Oh.
I will say, to back up what Eric was saying about it being beautiful enough, I want to quote Douglas Adams, who said, "Isn't it enough to see that their garden is beautiful without having to believe there are fairies at the bottom of it?"
Aww.
Yes, but I want my fairies.
I like that.
I want my fairies, and I want a Clefairy as well. We mentioned
Oh,
Jim really
yeah.
briefly. So this week in B&L history is very important for people who love Jim, because this is the week that on February
Love
2nd
Jim.
that Jim was born. So this is a very
Aw,
Got a birthday boy
Yeah.
coming up.
little infant Jim.
so very, very, very important week.
We should sing happy birthday to him.
Hey.
Ready, everybody?
Happy birthday.
Okay.
Worst song ever
Yeah,
written, right there.
Well, at least we can sing it now without being sued, right?
No.
They finally released it to public domain, I believe.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like for the longest time they didn't
I
have
heard
it
about that.
in movies because they had to pay outrageous royalties, so they would make up these other songs. They'd be like, that's why all the
Oh,
restaurants do like happy birthday, but they don't sing the birthday song
You know what?
because they weren't allowed to. I'm being serious. This is a real thing. And then recently
I
it was
never knew
released into the public
that.
domain. Yeah, so we can sing happy birthday again.
Who owned it?
Big Birthday
Wow.
has lifted its boot from off of our
Well,
necks.
well, we can
Nice.
until they take it back.
Is that your subtle segue? Sir?
Very, very
Yeah.
subtle.
Hey, I
Man on
worked
a
that in.
segue
That was a
again.
tough one to work in.
That was very.
No, you did
Very
it.
well
You did
done.
Okay. I give it a 2.5.
That was the end of the
That's
S's?
the end of the S's. We are on to the T's.
Yeah.
Wow, we really kicked the S.
Yes.
We're going to be on T's for quite some time.
Don't
Wait.
tease us.
Okay.
All right.
We're on T's until
Well-
the middle of this year.
I want to thank you for joining us again, Eric, and I hope that you'll be back again.
Thank you. I'll try. I appreciate it. It's always nice to be
Yeah.
here.
Thanks, that was fun. Don't forget, no regrets, except maybe one.
Internet on your end. So, like, when you hit your S's and stuff, I don't think it's your speaker. I think it's just the internet connection likes to go in and out a little bit. So when you say
Right,
your
yes.
S's, it does that.
Reef safe.
And you're the only one it's happening for. So I don't know if you can return if you
This isn't a thing I've noticed. Do you want to say some S's?
Okay.
Reef safe sunscreen.
Sally sells seashells by the seashore.
I'm just trying to save my S. Speak softly and carry a big stick. Sticky stickers stick.
There's a little
Sorry,
crackle, maybe.
Yeah, it's a crackle.
Sticky stickers stick to my stucco.
I think it's the internet connection. So if you want to record on
this
your
next
end and
one?
then send it to me,
Oh, I thought you were
Yeah,
just gonna make
I'll
him
just-
improv it and not use S's in his words.
Yeah, do the whole thing over.
I'm just gonna ADR myself, just re-record all my
Do
lines.
you mind?
you are prevented from using the letter S throughout the whole next time.
I'll just use
What
Z's.
sucks? I mean, it
on
sucks.
on the discussion about sunshine.
So you guys are like this is sunshine
Yeah.
song.
No, it works for the Z's too. Just cut the Z's.
Okay.
And C's, no C's.
I'll just
Daylight
act like a
and
ventriloquist.
radiation.
Hey guys, I like your sunshine song. Here's a really good song.
You can't use soft C's either, like in circus.
Yeah, what are
Boy,
the
that's some
rules here,
good
Tracy?
listening right there.
What are the rules, sir?
Forget about T words like
Czar.
czar.
Test, check. All right, I am recording on my end.